It's a pleasure to be here, and I got to get and start my talk, and you will see, I want to talk to you about some of the things you heard about today already, that things could be foreseen. And the first is the big changes that are coming in healthcare, already started, but you saw examples of them here. And I point out that it's new sensors and the fact that we have new computing power and that there are tremendous big trends coming to changing healthcare delivery. And there are 5 digital healthcare trends I'm calling out. One is the intelligent automation. You heard here talks that included AI and machine learning in order to do that. That's something that's already happening in medicine. There are algorithms and there are things that are helping doctors practice medicine even as we speak today. They're going to become much more noticeable and powerful in the future. Sorry, I keep forgetting and lowering the thing. All right, another change is because of the telepresence and the data and the AI, we're getting what we call a liquid workforce. That is, people at different places can be working together and collaborating and treating patients who are in a different location, but they can still be in telepresence and sharing the data. Because of that, and because of a trend I'll talk about later, healthcare is going to be driven by what I call a platform economy. Just like with smartphones, there are a few platforms that we use for medical devices and medical systems. There are only going to be a limited number of big platforms, and if you want to bring your new device and product into the market and use it effectively, it must fit into one of those platforms. So we know about Apple Watches, we know about Google has bought Fitbit and so forth. That's going to be going on more and more. Okay? Because of this, there's a predictable disruption that's coming to the healthcare field, just like there's predictable disruption coming because of autonomous vehicles, right? So you can see as the platforms come in and as AI develops and as new processes going on, that there'll be disruptions and there'll be changes in the way healthcare is delivered, and in fact, what you ask from healthcare. So there is also the issue that was alluded to briefly. There's going to be the issue of digital trust. There's a question of maintaining your data privacy or not, whatever it is. But there's another issue, which is making sure the database is validated and trusted, and that people can mine that in order to understand healthcare trends and what kind of treatments can be done. So the digital trust, the blockchain, and the other things are going to be critical in making sure that healthcare reaches its full potential. Okay, so we have an example. It's becoming more common to have automated blood biopsies. You take a sample, and then there are essentially microbots or small robotic systems that take the blood and analyze it, looking for antigens, looking for the behavior of the blood, looking at all these different things to see how diseases might be going on. That is becoming more and more common. We can see that happen. We saw one project on that already for cancer. Okay, there's going to be much more remote patient modeling. That is, here's an example that's taken from a prototype hospital. There's one running now. It would have more than 1,000 beds, nearly 3,000 beds, but it has no beds. All the patients are at home or other than remote locations. They're being monitored by the doctors and the healthcare professionals. You'll see the patient is in contact, audiovisual contact. There are sensors on the patient. There are computer systems monitoring. This system is working very well. You can anticipate this to be more and more common in the future because it's very cost effective. Right? Robotic surgery. You heard about robotic sampling of tissues to look to see if it's cancerous or not for biopsies. Robotic surgery has been ongoing for some time now. There are machines that do surgeries the doctors control. These machines have recorded every surgery they've done. They're analyzed. In the future, the machines will learn from the surgeries that have been done and can do the surgeries themselves without a human doing it. And that's going to become more and more common. There are sharper sensors coming out. This is a picture of a small sharp sensor. I'll show a different one in a couple of slides. They make it possible to measure and monitor more things about the health state of a patient. But one of the things that you see now is everybody's built their machines and they're all done digital, but they don't all talk to each other yet. Now we're getting to the point where they all need to talk to each other. When you go to a doctor or to a hospital or your home sensors, all those things will go to the cloud or to your database, and the machines will be able to talk to each other or talk to your database and provide a sweeping history of your whole health situation, including over the overall sweep of your life. Okay, so here's an example of a new sensor. This is a small blood sensor. It's not so new anymore. It's like 3 years old, but it's designed to look at the blood flow. You see it on a finger there. Look at the blood flow, measure the oxygenation, measure the pulse, and then transmit that to a near field device or a smartphone. Right? There are another example. This is one that I happen to have myself. It's a digital system that you put on your wrist. It automatically adjusts itself, measures your blood pressure, high and low, and your pulse rate and a few other things, and gives you a digital readout. You needed to be able to put it into a data set that's not just by itself, but into your whole historical data set, and that's coming in the future. Okay, here's an example of another circuit. This is a flexible circuit, just printed right on the arm. It's good for a week or so. It can be read out with a near-field device, and it monitors either the sweat or other chemicals that are going on right from your skin. This is more and more common kinds of devices that we have in the future. It's an example of the kind of sensors that people will be able to have in order to treat and look at their one particular health problem that needs more following up than a general sensor. So there are also already existing a huge number of apps on people's smartphones, and these apps are about education or about informing or tracking or working in combination with other sensors to see that a patient is treating their disease and so forth. You can see the examples for the various diseases that exist, and this slide is a year or so old. There are more now. Okay, so embrace the future. The future of healthcare is going to be extremely good. If you're a young person, you can look forward to complete measurement of the arc of your health, plus tracking what's going on. But even now, if you're an older person, you have the advantage of being able to do things at the present time. And these new devices that people are making, they have to fit in this framework. So, 谢谢。